Jennifer, some kind words with us. She was the department chair several years ago and is now retired and joined us on Zoom with Professor Carroll. So I will give you the airway floor. It's all yours, Jenny.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, but I'm muted.
No, now you're not.
I'm up. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to welcome you all. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you today. Congratulations to all of the graduates and your friends and families. You've worked long and hard to get to where you are. And you've had to do so in a world with a lot of chaos and change going on. And some of you have probably wondered, who's steering that ship? Where are the adults in the room? And why is there so much crazy stuff going on? Well, I am here to tell you that you need look no further than the mirror to see the adults in the room. Those adults are you, our wonderful graduates. You have put in the time, the effort, the money, and the long, stressful hours needed to get here. You have learned how to think critically when confronted with a problem. You have learned how to respectfully disagree and then try to find ways to come together. What the adults in the room do, learn how to look for ways to achieve goals, even when the path to doing so is very difficult. Remember, you did not get there alone. People in your life, some who never had the opportunity for education, have probably helped you get where you are, with the expectation that you will take on those leadership roles. And that leads me to telling a little story. I know that stories are allowed, so here's my story. Some years ago, I got a wonderful lesson about adults in the room from a Navajo man named Frank. When I worked as a welding inspector at the Navajo Generating Station in Arizona, Frank lived in a hogan out near Inscription House where he herded sheep. He joined our crew every year as a buffer. A buffer had a very boring, uncomfortable, repetitive job, but for unskilled labor, it paid well, around $18 per hour, with lots of overtime. Usually we got young guys who hated the work and were just getting a foot in the door. Nobody wanted to keep on being a buffer. Well, Frank was different. He was older. He spoke very little English. He had no formal education. So, unlike a lot of the other Navajo temporary workers, he could not transfer from job to job or move up. Good. In terms of literacy, he could fill out his timesheet, but that was about it. However, he was an excellent worker. Some of the young guys looked down on Frank and made jokes about him, which they thought he could not understand. I never did know why Frank had decided that I was his go-to in the supervision. But one day, one of the other buffers said Frank wanted to talk to me. So I joined them for the lunch break. Through an interpreter, Frank told me how he saved all the money he had earned at the power plant each year to help put his nephews and nieces through college. He never took any of it for himself and continued to live his traditional lifestyle. He wanted me to know how important it was to him that his family got an education. I was surprised at him sharing this with me, but I told him that I thought his family very lucky to have him doing this for them. By now, though, I realized there was more to come. Frank had not just decided out of the blue to share his lifetime financial plan with me. He needed me to act on this knowledge. Still, the interpreter, I asked Frank if there was something I could help with. By now, the buffer crew was listening in. The interpreter said that Frank hoped we would not lay him off early. Now I understood what was going on. Someone had played a mean joke and told Frank he was getting an early layoff. Only he did not get the joke part and was super worried. Still using the interpreter, I told him he was our very best buffer, and there was no way he would ever be laid off early. I repeated the compliments in Navajo so that nobody could have any doubts about what I had said. And then I shook his hand. The interpreter's eyes got very large, and Frank walked away with a springiness that I had never seen before. Not only was he keeping his job, but he had just been praised for his work in front of those who had been putting him down. Do not take the education you have received lightly. Each and every one of you has a Frank in your life somewhere who is depending on you to make good use of it. Some of you will have a Frank who has helped you achieve success, while others may have a Frank who needs you to be the adult in his room that day. They may not always be the same person, and you may encounter many Franks along your path. So, as you go out into the world, successfully graduated, may you always walk in beauty on that path and always treat anyone around you with kindness. Masi, for letting me address you today, and may you all go out and do wonderful work. And I'm going to mute myself now.
Do not mute yourself.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Jenny. And I'm going to, on behalf of Vice Chancellor Stern and the College of Rural and Community Development and the Department of Alaska Native Studies and Rural Development, present you with this Pendleton blanket.
Oh, wow.
And I think I'll just take it out here.
Oh, my.
Vice Chancellor Stern was not able to, you want to look at it first?
Well, this is so beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful? She was not able to be here. She's at an event honoring the 2 Alaska Native elders who are getting their PhD. But she wanted to make sure that we gave Jenny this blanket here. And this blanket is, it was commissioned by 8th Generation. which is a native-owned company, and the proceeds from this blanket go to Native students.
Wow. Oh,
So-
mercy. Mercy to you all.
We love you so much. This represents our love and care for you and our appreciation for everything that you have done for this department. So thank you so much from all of us, from Vice Chancellor Stern and from me especially. We love you.
Mercy to you all, and also for those who speak Navajo. Now, all right.
Now we can meet.
Now I'm going to mute myself and have a wonderful evening. I'm going to sit and watch you guys. Mute.
Congratulations, JBJ, and thank you, Professor Carroll, for presenting that beautiful blanket to Jenny Bell Jones. Jenny Bell Jones, for those of you who don't know her or maybe never had her as a professor, she's taught hundreds of students in the Rural Development Program. Like I said, she's now retired, and she has led the department as department chair for many years, and is a mentor to many of us in the department. So thank you so much, Jenny. We're very appreciative of your time and your energy that you give us. And we definitely wanted to let you know tonight. And I'm gonna try not to cry. Before we get into some introductions of our department, for those of you who maybe don't know everybody in our department, I wanted to give our dean an opportunity to say a few words. I realize tonight we're also taking time away from, like Jenny had said, the honorary doctorates that are getting their presentation tonight. So I realize you're gonna have to run.
Thank you, Debbie. It's just nice to be here with people in a room. Again, it's been a hard 2 years, really, really hard 2 years. And this year in particular, just with the pandemic and then this winter, oof, I haven't experienced one like this. I've been in Fairbanks for 20 years, and it just added to, I think, the stress and the hardships that we experienced this past year. And I think that just makes it all the more sweeter for this moment, for us all to be here celebrating today. I'm so proud of you all. The resilience that you've shown to complete your degree and graduate, it is astounding. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced in my lifetime, and I'm still a young buck, there could be more to see. But yeah, these past years and the dedication that the students have shown to complete their degree is absolutely amazing. So as Debbie's mentioned, I do have to run to other events, but I wanted to take an opportunity to talk to you all and just say thank you and congratulate you. I'm an alumni myself of RD, so it has a special place in my heart, and I just couldn't miss this opportunity. So congratulations to everybody. It's so well deserved. Thank you all.
Thank you, Brian. So I just joined Rural Development, Alaska Native Studies and Rural Development a few years ago. And I was at home in my village teaching, and looked at coming to Fairbanks, and and the first thing I thought of was I have to be with CRCD. CRCD has always been my home. RSS, some of you remember, I worked here at RSS as an advisor and then as the director, and I just knew I had to come back and be in the Brooks building. There's really nowhere else on campus that I would want to come and practically put 12 hours a day in. So where I'm going with that is, as students and as alum, you guys know how amazing the instructors are in this program. I wanted to introduce them, and then there were a few that weren't able to be here this evening, and so I wanted to recognize them also. So our newest our newest person. Are you our newest person?
No.
No, Charlene's our newest person.
I'm an old bag already.
Okay, she's an old bag. Tia Anna Tidwell, can you stand up and we can recognize you as one of our amazing professors in Alaska Studies? Thank you. And then the wonderful and amazing Dr. Charlene Fisher, who is awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see, do we have anybody else that's here?
We have
We
Jenny
have,
online.
who do we have?
Jenny Carroll online.
Oh, Dr. Carroll, would you like to?
I'm sorry, Mom, I found the wrong side of the thing.
Now their video's off.
I know Dr. Carroll was gonna head up
Oh,
here.
geez.
Dr. Carroll's gonna come up here in a few minutes. Hi, thank you for the wave. Awesome. I think Professor Meckel's gonna be up here in a little bit. Dr. Black, who wasn't able to be here this evening because she's over at the honorary doctorate presentation. Kathy had a family thing that she had to be at, so she wasn't able to be here. But I mean, this is amazing. Like I said, this is why we're here, is because of you guys. You guys are who are graduating. I want to have our students stand up too. I know Liz is already standing. So Liz, tell me who you are.
That's Liz.
My name is Liz. Nice to see some of you guys in person, like for real. This is cool.
It is. Okay, where shall we go next? Let's go over here.
I'm Candace Nielsen. I've been in the program for way too long. A decade. I'm really excited to be here today and to be graduating tomorrow. I'm graduating with my bachelor's rural development, emphasis in community health and wellness. I have all my family here. I've been able to do this distantly from Cold Bay. So it's been amazing, and I'm so grateful for this program, and I'm grateful for all of you for pulling it off. I really appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's see, Roy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Roy Andrew from Coconut, graduating with the Master of Rural Development, and never been through something so intensive in my life for the last 2.5 years.
It wasn't even like normal master's degree, it was COVID master's degree. So yeah, hats off to you guys for who you're graduating. Okay, who else do we have here? Jamakla.
I'm Masha, Teeter, this is Bugs, and we're graduating with interdisciplinary. Perhaps that interdisciplinary is ANS. And yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, am I missing anybody?
Oh, I'm Ariel. I'm graduating with my bachelor's in rural development, and I've been working on it for about 10 years now. Wait, came back. So I'm excited to be able to be here with you all, and I'm super grateful for this program.
Professor Meckel just joined us. So thank you very much for being here. I'm so happy you're here. Did you run?
I just walked. COVID down.
Okay, am I missing anybody else? I'm not sure if I'm missing anybody else. Deanna, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Deanna Fitzgerald. I'm the dancer academic undergraduate advisor, and I'm so happy I was able to work with Candace a bit and with Ariel, and I'm just so glad to be here. I just started in July. It's just so exciting and feels like family coming home to work with all of you all.
Thank you so much. Ms. Sherry, would you like to introduce yourself? Everybody knows Ms. Sherry.
I'm Sherry, and I'm the office manager, CRCD academic office manager, so I work with all the units here in the district.
He loves us most. Okay. One thing that we like to do when we do our graduation celebration is each professor would like to have some kind words about the students that we've been working with. So can I, Ms. Tiana, can I start with you?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay. I kind of what?
There's some students online. Maybe recognize them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thank you, Charlene. Goodness. Okay, and you can't, it's because you can't see them from here.
Fabiola Torres is here.
Lori.
Hi, Fabiola. Do you want to wave to everyone?
Sorry.
Oh, there we go. Oh, no. And Lori, I get to speak for you tonight. So if you want to just turn your video on and say hi, I'll start with you. Lori, are you there? There she is. Hi, Lori. This is Lori. Okay. I'm going to speak into the mic so Lori can hear. It is my honor to speak about Lori Hughes today. I had the pleasure of having Lori in Community Healing and Wellness last semester. Lori originally came to university right after high school, but took some time to find their true purpose and what they are passionate about. She was able to find that passion in the tribal management program, where she completed her AAS in tribal management. After she finished that, she felt really pushed to further her education. She learned that no matter what age you are, you can always find your purpose, and it is always important to follow your passion and goals. When I asked Lori about what motivated them when things were challenging, she told me that being born and raised in the Bering Strait region gave her firsthand experience and knowledge about the issues that tribal members face in rural Alaska. And that pushed her to gain professional development to help create bridges to reach more service for tribal members in her region. She said that part of her positionality and passion in her work is to educate tribes in her region of the importance of tribal sovereignty. She said, and I'm going to share a quote, "We aren't taught our Indigenous history in elementary and high school in our Western school system. Less than 100 years ago, we were nomadic people who lived off the land, and we were our first medics, counselors, teachers, and everything else. Therefore, I believe in the importance of tribes learning the structure of tribal sovereignty and issues." And she says that what kept her motivated, even when things were hard, is the amount of time that I had already spent reaching small milestones throughout my degree. My motivation to keep pushing forward was rooted from my children and family and trying to make the most out of the valuable time away from them to successfully complete my degree. When I asked Lori to tell me about something that she accomplished in her degree program that she was proud of, she said, "Through the University of Alaska Fairbanks Rural Development Program, she gained the necessary tools and resources that fit perfectly in addressing current issues here in the Bering Strait region. In her current role, she has been able to successfully apply this knowledge to pass on to tribes the importance of utilizing their inherent tribal sovereignty when it comes to obtaining federal funding to facilitate projects that address their ongoing critical and community development issues." I'm so proud of Lori for getting here today. She's faced many challenges, including a house fire this semester, and yet she's still here graduating. In the Community Healing and Wellness class, we discussed some of our true motivations for pursuing our education, and Lori talked about wanting to succeed for her family and having the drive to complete something fully that she had already invested so much in. So congratulations, Lori, you made it. And if you were here
you would get a bright blue bag with yellow, beautiful paper coming out of it with your gift in it, but we will mail it to you instead. Okay. I also get to introduce and talk Come Up Club. If you want to wave to everyone again. So I have had teeter in 3 classes throughout the last 2 years that I've been here, and you will get a bag. So teeter is graduating with an interdisciplinary degree that combines Alaska Native Studies and education. And her goal is to create culturally relevant content for teachers in Alaska, which we all know is so needed. Teeter came to the decision to create this interdisciplinary degree by really focusing on what they wanted to do, outside of everyone else's ideas of what they should do. They saw a gap and wanted to grow and share their knowledge to make education more relevant for others. Teeter is a 4-year graduate of Mount Edgecombe High School and came to UAF after taking some classes in the summer in the East Coast. It was there they realized they wanted to be home in Alaska. When they called their dad, who's here, if you want to wave, he said, "Not everyone everywhere is a little Yupik kid from Alaska like you. You just got to finish what you started and then do whatever from there." When I asked Teeter what kept them motivated when things were tough, they talked about their Appa, who always told them, "I'm already so proud of you. You just keep doing what you do. You're the only one who really knows what you're doing." When their Appa was still alive, every little achievement they reached, even if it was just barely passing a tough class, they were excited to visit them and talk about what they learned and what they were able to achieve. When I asked Teeter one of the things that she was most proud of accomplishing in their degree, they said, beating the odds. They successfully grew and birthed and cared for bugs, all while getting their degree. Bugs, you want to wave? They did not give up. I am so proud of Teeter. They did not give up. They came to meetings with bugs in tow. They learned and they shared their insights. In our class, when we talked about our true motivations for pursuing further education, this is a pattern. I do this with all the students. Teeter talked about wanting to break trails to make the path easier for others. Congratulations, Teeter, you've officially done that. Maybe I will pass it to Charlene Fisher to introduce our next grad.
And Wednesday, everyone, Masit Chod for coming to this graduation. Congratulations on completing all those requirements and for dedication to your communities and to your families and your people and all that you work for. I am talking, I'm going to be doing the recognition for Devin, and she's not here.
Are we
So-
recording this?
Yes,
It's being recorded.
Oh, okay, okay. So Devin is receiving a graduate certificate. She she wanted to do the certificate and not the entire master's program. She's faculty, not faculty, but staff in Dillingham. And she is very invested in her community. She researches a lot about community planning, strategic planning, ways to, think about the structures and growing her community and having sustainability. So Devin spent a lot of time this semester researching about and learning from our COVID experience. She looked at flexible scheduling and balancing work life and school life and how we can learn from our experience. So it was my pleasure to work with her in that area and to explore all of those federal regulations and other things that I thought was, really meaningful to her and her work. And hopefully the university, as a staff member, she'll be advocating for those kinds of things. So I wish she was here. I thought she was gonna be here, but yeah, that was Devin. She had a great experience. So thank you. I think next is Kathleen for your students.
Okay. It seems so odd to talk for students who are not
I
here.
know, I know.
So, I have two students that I'm going to speak for today, and it does feel odd because they're not here. So that makes it really, for me, challenging because you can't see them. And then you don't know that they're there. The first student that I'm going to speak for is an Alaska Native Studies graduate, Catherine Leinenberg. And Catherine, when she came to the university, she started in education. And she did take some Alaska Native Studies classes so she could feel connected. And Catherine is Sukpiak. On her grandma's side, she wrote this long thing, why I'm proud to be Sukpiak, in the very first class she had with me. And it was phenomenal because I asked the students, how do you identify? And she took a long time and she said, identify as a woman. I'm a woman. And then she said, I'm an Alaska Native woman. And then one of the students asked, well, don't you consider yourself an American? After, of course, she said she was Sukpiak. She said, yes, but that's not a priority when you're a person of the land. So right away in that very first class, I knew it was going to be quite special to watch Catherine grow. And it was. We were sitting in 240, 251, 351, the Festival of Native Arts class. And she said, oh my God, my car won't start and I have a dental appointment in North Pole. She had braces and I'm like, well, I can drive you. She looked at me like, professors do that? Said, you're in need of a ride and your appointment is happening. I said, yeah, professors do that. So we had this nice drive out there and she was always kind of shy, but I still remembered that I'm an Alaska Native woman and I'm Sukpiak. And as she went on, she went through her student teaching experience here in Fairbanks. And from that experience, she went all the way through those education courses and got to that point. And she came out and she said, I'm not going to be a teacher. What I witnessed and what I saw, I don't want to be like that if those are the mentors. I wish I had more time to say more. She already is a beautiful teacher. Catherine, she has greatness. When she did her presentations in class, she was always calm. Her voice was always level. And I love that every few slides, she would have a question that forced the students to turn around, look at each other and discuss. So she already is a teacher. And I wanted her to be here tonight so I could convince her to get her master's degree, be a teacher at a whole different level. Because when she speaks, everybody stops and you kind of lean into her to listen. And for Indigenous people, we know that that's a kind of a power you don't see that these guys carry. She's got that lean in so you could listen because her words mean something. And I'm extremely proud of the woman she is, the Sukpiak Alaska Native woman that she is, and her graduation. And I know her parents are super proud of her as well. They're educators. Congratulations, Catherine. And then the next student is a rural development graduate from Galena, 50 miles upriver from my village. His name is Freddie Olin. And Freddie Olin is graduating from the rural development program with his degree in rural RD, and he's going to be going into the master's program. Something really interesting and amazing about Freddie is he had these different careers that a lot of village guys go through when you're looking for your way. He was a wildland firefighter. I mean, like a whole bunch of us were wildland firefighters, you know, out there putting out the fires in the tundra and the forest. And then he went to work as a roustabout for Doyon Drilling on the North Slope, and he had that. Even tried some different things in Juneau and in Washington, leaning more toward the political side. So it was interesting to see Freddie grow in this direction. When I first met him, I was teaching at Effie Cochrane Charter School, and I was sure he was going to be a counselor. And I still think he should be a counselor. He met with the students, and when Effie first opened up, if you're familiar with schools in Fairbanks, it was a challenge to get students there and to hold the students there, because their focus was Alaska Native ways of doing, Alaska Native ways of knowing. And as a result, we got to push out students from the other schools in Fairbanks for 7 through 12. But it was a fabulous school, and I think it's the best kept secret. Freddie wandered into Effie Cochrane when he was a freshman up here to check it out, see what was happening in schools, and to visit. And he came into my classroom, and I didn't know who he was. I'm like, well, what are you doing here? He said, well, I just want to help. I said, oh, boys, look at this man wants to help. Whew. All those 7th grade boys were over there. They're like, oh, well, then they started asking him all kinds of questions. And then he sat up on the floor. They were all like shoulder to shoulder on the floor, laying there talking. And when the class was over, he came up and he said, can I make this a regular weekly thing that I come in and talk to those boys? They need somebody to talk with. I want to cry because every single one of those boys from that grade, they're all men. I think Freddie had a huge impact on their lives, and they are phenomenal people today. They are doing great things, every single one. He even got some of them to do bird banding with some scientists up here. So when you have people who grow into adults that contribute in a great way, you know the future is going to be good. And that's kind of what it's all about for us here. You know, we're so extremely proud of our graduates, and I'm so proud of Freddie Olin, and I wish he were here. Congratulations, Freddie Olin.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you. Let's see, I am next on the list here. So I chose a couple of students that I wanted to talk about. Danielle Carlson, she lives down in Juneau, and she's a graduate student. I don't think she's here tonight because she's out in one of the communities there doing just one of the last trips of her rural admissions position that she has down there at UAS. And I don't have a whole book like Tia. Oh my gosh, I'm sticky notes. So she's moving into the UAS Alaska Native Student Success Specialist position, and I'm so proud of her. I met her a couple of years ago, actually the semester before COVID hit, and I was the advisor for the department, and so I got to meet Danielle and at one of the college recruiting things, and she just was phenomenal and blew my mind away, and the amount of information that she knew about the UA system really surprised me. She was able to answer questions about UAF that I was not able to answer, even though she's down in Juneau. So just a couple of things about Danielle. She's from Sandpoint. She got her bachelor's of liberal arts in social sciences and communication. She did commercial fishing in the summer times in order to fund her schooling along with her scholarships. And she's just an absolutely phenomenal person. And we are so proud that we're able to call her an RDMA grad. So congratulations, Danielle. We've got a really good one. And the next student that, that I get to share some words about is Ariel. And this is my first time seeing her in person. I think that's one of the beauties with the Rural Development in Alaska Native Studies is our program is, you know, it's not locally based. And so it's my first time seeing her in person. So what a wonderful young lady who is getting a Bachelor of Arts. She, like all of our students, have faced challenges during their schooling. She's overcome hurdles. She's changed things in her life, but she has not changed degrees, so that's good. You're with us. One of the things that she's really passionate about is early childhood education or early childhood special education. And she and I have bonded over our children and the different kind of needs that they have or that they need in the school districts. So thank you so much for being here tonight, Miss Ariel from McGrath. Would you come down? I get to give you a bag. I know.
Virginia, so she
Oh. You'll, if you perhaps she'll see. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Carroll's checking in. Okay. Like I said, with Ariel and some of our other students, or actually most of our other students, one thing that I really appreciate about Alaska Native Studies and Rural Development is that we are able to work with students who have all these challenges in their life. They have a full-time job, or they have children, or they have other kinds of things that are going on in their communities, either working on committees or boards or things like that. And they're able to squish in there some schooling, and we're able to work with with our graduates so that they can get their degree. And that piece of paper means a lot. To some people, maybe not so much, but definitely for our grads and for us, that piece of paper means a lot. Jenny, can I call you up next?
I guess so. What am I doing?
We're talking about our students who are amazing.
Oh, okay. Get myself all tangled up here.
These are practice.
All right. Okay, so Kathy could not be here today. And so she asked me to read her little, congratulations to her students. And this one goes out to Liz. Yes. So, okay. Dear Liz, this is from Kathy. I could be wrong, but I highly suspect that DANSRD turned your thinking upside down on lots of topics. I appreciate your being willing to stretch yourself and realize that these foundations apply to our lives as well as our careers. I hope you will take these lessons into life, carrying them forward, helping to be the positive change in your world. I appreciate working with you and wish you all the best moving forward. Kathy. Also just echo that for Liz. It was fabulous to have you in class this semester. And you made the class better. You made the program better with your participation and your comments. And thank you very much. Yes, I could use some help. Yeah.
I was so scared of you when I first met you. But you were like my favorite, and you have helped me so much. Political economy scared the crap out of me. You helped me through everything, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And congratulations. And yes. Next victim is Roy. All right, this is from Kathy. Dear Roy, I appreciate your love of history and your perseverance for pursuing your degree. You brought a unique perspective into the classroom, fueled by your life experiences in history. I hope you will use your new knowledge and understanding to help others, and just maybe write that book you've been talking about. Best wishes, Kathy. And again, I will echo that. Roy also was in our first capstone class, and I also had Roy in 601, and Roy has this amazing ability to just, like, you're looking at what he's doing or you're listening to him, you're like, and then trying, oh, I see. You know, I mean, just like he'll just bring some sort of epiphany out of the material that you're working with. Anyway, so he's fabulous, and we love having him. So.
Oh, thank you. This is the hardest class. I think I did my best paper for you. Okay, let me take my, otherwise, take my picture there. Thanks.
No,
Be here.
but it's recorded. It is recorded.
Yes. All right. So for Minnie from Kathy. Dear Minnie, when I first started DANSRD, I remembered Dr. Gabriele. Sorry, Ralph. Dr. Gabriele talking about Minnie Naylor and what a wonderful student she was and how much you loved having her in class. I was honored when you talked to me about possibly doing your master's in RD. I watched you flourish. I watched you struggle, but you did not give up. Almost, but you didn't. I am so proud of you. My heart hurts for you, as I know the feeling of accomplishing something hard and wanting to share it with your dad, only for him not to be there. But he is. He is grinning from ear to ear and bursting with pride over his baby girl. We all share the pride of you being there and supporting other students while you conquered your own mountain. Sending hugs, Kathy. And another student in the new capstone class, and another student who, all of the students in that class have are in the process of making the program a better program through their efforts and through what they've been doing. And Minnie has done an outstanding job at that, and was just a joy to have in class. And I just have to also share, Jenny Bell always talks about that Minnie was, when Jenny started her RD degree, her undergrad degree. Minnie was one of the students who helped her learn how to use a computer. So, you know, Minnie was helping students from the very beginning. All right. Viola. Wonderful. Okay. So. Hi, Fabiola. Oh, wait. Looking up there probably doesn't mean I'm looking at the joy of Zoom classes. You know, you're always kind of looking off in some weird direction. So Fabiola, for those of you who don't know, Fabiola is originally from Peru. And she came to Alaska with her husband, I believe. And the first I ever heard of Fabiola was, in fact, she had gone over, she had taken a federal, I think she was taking the federal Indian law class with Jen Bell, and she'd gone over to, she met with her and, you know, decided to come into the program. And so she is one of those students. So she spent some time in Victoria, and then they left. They went back to Peru. So through all of this, she has been doing her program from all over, right? And just such amazing work, and such an amazing heart for rural development and Indigenous people in her country and around the world. And she is working with a really beautiful model of how practitioners can help. She's developed some amazing stuff. She's a delight to have in class. And as everybody said from Wednesday night's class, she shares beautiful pictures from her country. She's a photographer herself. So thank you so much, Fabiola, for being in our program, for sticking with it. Because with the pandemic, it really knocked a lot of people for a loop, right? They weren't going to be able to do what they needed to do to graduate. And yet we managed, and they managed. And so Fabiola, congratulations. Thank you. And I hope that we see you again. Wouldn't need to work. Okay. And I don't see Amber. I actually just talked to Amber this morning. And she said she probably wouldn't make it on, but I'm going to talk about her anyway. So Amber, when she started, she was Amber Sims. Now she's Amber Hartman. Amber came into the program really with a desire to, how has she been putting it, sort of increase her self-determination, her ability to affect change, right? To manage change in the world, in her own life and in the world. And we've been talking a lot about that because of the portfolios that she's been putting together. And I think I started out working with her from the very beginning. We went through lots of different iterations of what she wanted to do. And again, the pandemic, you know, kind of derails certain things. She's the one who really got me going, kicked me in the butt, and helped me put the RD 691 capstone course together so that students would have this option. And because of her, that's why. So doing rural development right in the program, right? So I'm just really I'm just really, really thrilled that she's going to be able to graduate, that she's had this opportunity, that she shared all of her experience and knowledge with us, and that she's going to be able to go out and continue to do that in the rural development field and the research field. And, sorry she's not here, but if you hear that, hear this, great job. We're so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And I hope I get to catch up with you this summer. See you when I get to Anchorage. All right, and last but not least, Candace. So how many classes have I had? I think I've had you in 4, 5, maybe?
All of them.
Yeah. All
For
the
undergraduates.
classes. Yeah. Well, first of all, of course, amazing perseverance, right? I mean, it's like that's how you spell Candace. But also incredible insight, right? She's working, you know, her senior thesis this year was on school closures, right? Village closures. And she pulled together some really amazing stuff, made a lot of connections. You know, it's a subject that it's really important for everybody, but it's kind of fallen off the radar. I mean, like you said, it just sort of, you know, and like you were saying Thursday, she was like, you know, I'm living this right now, how this is affecting communities and how, you know, and so she's done really good work getting it started, getting another conversation started, and looking at why is this, you know, what is this doing? And what are the effects? Just anyway, just really good work. And always there, always steady, always coming forward with her ideas, with support for other students. Just amazing. And of course, doing this all with her kids in the background, right? It's like, okay, can I give a presentation at this time because they are quiet? And sometimes they're not. And she's like, I'm sorry, I'll have to mute. And it's like, no, that's okay. We don't mind. Go right ahead. So just an amazing student, an amazing journey. So glad you made it. So glad you're up here. Like, congratulations to share this with us. And so you're amazing. And I hope we see you back again.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody presenting. I appreciate the families that are here with the graduates. I appreciate Dr. Asiku, who is here tonight supporting our department and our graduates. Thank you very much for coming. My second most exciting thing, or the thing that I'm most excited about with the celebration, is the food, of course. And so we've got some awesome sandwiches the Subway put together, a big old pot of soup, and a few other things. So we're going to end the program now, get the food out, and everybody's welcome to eat and mingle and chat, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning at graduation at the Carlson Center. Congratulations, everybody.
Actually, they were inside the everything because of, the program is so brand new. And amazing. Not smile.